Hey everybody, welcome to the September 14th, 2022 regular session. I will call the meeting to order at 5:50 p.m. Please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Zerlo, would you please conduct the roll?
Certainly. Mr. Castine.
Present.
Mr. Bazzaio.
Here.
Mr. Hall.
Here.
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Mr. Kretzer.
Here.
Mr. Courier.
Here.
Mr. Potiker.
Here.
Mr. Timmons.
Here.
Ms. Waldron.
Here. Thank you. All legislators have received a copy of the minutes for the August 17th and September 7th special meeting. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes. Motion by legislator Hall, second by legislator Perrier. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'll now recognize anybody in the audience that wishes to give their thoughts to the legislature. Please raise your hands if you wish to be recognized to speak. At that time, state your name and address, and all speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. Is there anybody that wishes to speak to the legislature tonight? Anyone at all? Okay. Tonight we have a public hearing on the 2022-2023 Clinton Community College budget. I would like to ask the clerk of the board to read the notice of public hearing. Mr. Zerl.
Notice is hereby given. The Board of Legislators will conduct a public hearing regarding the 2022-2023 Clinton Community College budget to be held Wednesday, September 14, 2022 at 5:15 p.m. in the Legislative Chambers, 137 Margaret Street, Suite 209, Plattsburgh, New York, at which time all persons interested shall be heard.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing. Motion by legislator Bazzaio, second by legislator Hughes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We are now in public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board regarding this matter? If so, state your name and address for the record. And again, in accordance with the rules of order, speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. Anyone who wishes to speak in public hearing on the Clinton Community College budget.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I have a question. I asked Mike a couple of minutes ago, because I was under the impression that we always voted, and I guess I'm wrong, we voted on this at budget session, our budget session. And I'd like Mike to explain it.
No, this is out of cycle. You put the appropriation in your county budget, but the approval of the community college budget is done late summer each year, done by resolution.
My question is approving this tonight, say we get in budget session and we don't approve it, what happens then?
I believe that the cat's out of the bag at that point. The community college can speak to this, but I believe, they pending approval, tell SUNY Central that the sponsor has guaranteed the local share
After we approve.
after you approve tonight.
There's been some concern about the enrollment. And I'm concerned now, because I know how the feeling of some legislators. If we approve this tonight, and then we have a problem in the budget session, it's gonna be bad.
Well, I can tell you that my cursory review of your county budget, I would not anticipate that dilemma. I'll remind you that the request from the community college was at the same level as the previous year. And I think questions on enrollment were asked and answered on multiple occasions at the finance committee by the president of the community college. But I'm sure he'd be willing to answer those again, should you desire.
Could I ask them, I know the latest number, I believe was 128.
Sure. I'm glad to speak to it. if you wish. Just had the numbers today.
Mr. President, if you'd like to, you can step
Sure.
up to the podium.
Thank you.
Sure, I just got the numbers like about an hour ago in terms of our current numbers for this fall. We are up in new students by about 15%. So we made a little bit of an increase in new numbers. It's about 10 new FTEs. On continuing students, we're down about the same. So we are level at this point with last year. We have not yet included CAP students, which could give us a bump depending on how we do compared to last year.
And so how many students are there?
I think a head count of about 450.
Got it here, not FTEs though.
Not at.
170 FTEs, 400.
FTEs, total FTEs at this point is 168.47. And the total head count is 453.
Okay, thank you.
And can you remind us, Mr. President, in your conversations at Finance, your desire this year, next year, or the year after?
Yes. Next year, our plan is to be at 600 FTEs. This is in response to middle states and their guidance in terms of where we need to go with enrollment. And then following that, the longer term goal is 700. That's the place we need to be.
Any further questions for the President? Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
Anything further, Bob?
No, I'm,
No, that's.
Anything more? Anybody like to say in public here? Did I miss anyone? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. A motion by legislator Hall to close, second by legislator Timmons to close. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is closed. Tonight, we also have a second public hearing regarding the status of grant number 250H0369-19 from the New York State Housing Trust Fund Office of Community Renewal. I would like to ask the clerk of the board to read the notice of public hearing.
Certainly. Clinton County will hold a public hearing at 5:15 p.m. on Wednesday, September 14, 2022, at a meeting of the Clinton County Legislature in the legislative chambers located at the Clinton County Government Center, 137 Margaret Street, 2nd floor, Suite 209 in Plattsburgh, New York, for the purpose of hearing comments on the county's administration of a $400,000 home ownership grant, grant number 250HO369-19 under the Small Cities Community Development Block Grant Program. The CDBG program is administered by the New York State Office of Community Renewal and provides resources to eligible local governments for housing, economic development, public facilities, public infrastructure, and planning activities with the principal purpose of benefiting low and moderate income persons. The hearing will provide further information about the progress of ongoing CDBG project. Comments related to the effectiveness of the administration of the CDBG project will also be received at this time. The hearing is being conducted pursuant to section 570.480 subpart I of the CFR and in compliance with the requirements of the Housing Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The location of the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. If special accommodations are needed for those with disabilities, those with hearing impairments, or those in need of translation from English, those individuals should contact Kim Kimblom, Clinton County Deputy Administrator at 518-565-4600, or the Clinton County Government Center, 137 Margaret Street, Suite 208, Plattsburgh, New York, 12901, at least 1 week in advance of the hearing date to allow for necessary arrangements. Written comments may also be submitted to Ms. Kimblom until September 30, 2022.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion to open the public hearing. Motion by legislator Bazile, second by legislator Hughes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Public hearing. Glenn, do you have something?
I could just give a little status of what exactly happened with it.
Sure.
So this was our typical home buyer program grant that we've done for a couple of decades at this point. This one fell on hard times during COVID. One of the things that happened is we switched it to a rental program, so it was meant to help people pay rent if they couldn't afford their rent. It was a 3-month potential that they could get rental assistance for. Over the grant period, which is about 2 years, we ended up assisting 21 separate renters. And at one point in mid-2021 or so, we switched it back to primarily the home buyer program, which is what it typically was, to assist low moderate families to purchase a home. During that, they had at least 20 people that were looking for homes but couldn't find anything within their price range. We only ended up doing one. So the program right now has some issues with how much funding is available versus what the housing prices are. So we can only give people so much money and they can't find homes that are within that range. So the program really needs to be looked at this point, but that's essentially what happened. It might clear its own problems out of the way in the next few years, but housing has gone way up essentially and made that program very difficult for people to find a home for, actually. So we ended up spending $107,000 of the $400,000, basically. Anybody got any other questions?
Any questions for Glenn? Do you have anything more to add, sir?
That is it.
Okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak in public hearing on this topic? Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. A motion by Legislator Potiker, second by Legislator Waldron. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This hearing is closed. Public hearing is closed. Thank you all. We will now go to committee reports. I will call the chairperson of each committee in alphabetical order by committee, starting with Buildings and Grounds and Legislator Bazan.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The Buildings and Grounds Committee has not met since the last regular session. The committee was polled on resolutions 634 and 635 on the agenda. The next Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, September 26th at 4:30 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. Children and Family Services, Legislator Potter.
Thank you, Chairman. The Children and Family Services Committee met on Tuesday, September 6th. John Redden, the Commissioner of Social Services, was present to discuss several resolutions, including authorizing contract with DocuSign and authorizing New York State Rental Supplement Program, RSP, application and acceptance. Mr. Redden also discussed the monthly statistics for July 2022, Home Energy Assistance Program, HEAP, and the 2023 budget. Resolutions 636 through 642 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendations. The next Children and Family Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, October 4th at 5:15 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. Economic Development and Legislator Walton.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The Economic Development and County Operations Committee met earlier today. Glenn Cutter, the Planning Director, was present to discuss resolutions approving appointment to the Clinton County Planning Board, honoring Sheridan Garner for his years of dedicated public service, and authorizing hazard mitigation grant program funding acceptance. Dave Randall, the Information Technology Director, was also present to discuss the resolution authorizing contract with New York State Office of Information Technology Services and the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. Mary Dyer and Jody Courier, the Commissioners of the Board of Elections, were present to discuss resolutions authorizing contract with Dominion Voting Systems Corporation and authorizing absentee ballot prepaid postage grant acceptance. Resolutions 643 through 648 have been placed on the agenda upon the recommendation of the committee. Our next Economic Development and County Operations Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, October 12th at 4:00 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. Finance, Legislator Timmons.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee met on Wednesday, September 7th Kimberly Davis, the county treasurer, was present to discuss sales tax and the resolution authorizing the county treasurer to appropriate the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funds to various accounts. Gary Douglas, Christy Kennedy, and Alyssa Senical of the Plattsburgh North Country Chamber of Commerce were present to discuss the 2023 marketing plan. Kim Kimblom, the deputy county administrator, also held a discussion on the contract with Constellation New York New Energy Incorporated, the supplier of electricity to Hunt County accounts. Resolutions 649 through 654, as well as resolution 691 under waiver rule 13.2, have been placed on the agenda upon the recommendation of the committee. The next finance committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, October 5th at 5:15 p.m. and report.
Thank you very much. Health Committee and Legislator Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee met on Wednesday, September 7th. Rochelle Gregory, the Director of Community Services, was present to discuss resolutions authorizing contract with Rooted Compassion Counseling and Consulting LLC and authorizing memorandum of understanding and the extension with the Clinton County Veteran Service Agency and authorizing contract amendment with Community Connections of Franklin County. Jeff Sissons, the Director of Public Health, was also present to discuss several resolutions, including authorizing contract with Child Care Coordinating Council of the North Country, Inc., and amending Resolution 301 dated May 12, 2021, titled Authorizing Contracts with Selected Individuals for Distribution of State Septic System Replacement Funds for Isle Lamont Watershed Grant. Mr. Sisson also discussed the Director's Report for July 2022 and the Health Department Report for August 2022. And the grant quarterly report for the second quarter of 2022. Resolutions 655 through 664 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendation. The next Health Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, October 5th at 4:15 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much, sir. Human Services Committee, Legislator Poirier.
Thank you, sir. Human Services Committee met on Tuesday, September 6th. Darlene Collins, the Director of Office for the Aging, was present to discuss the resolution authorizing out-of-state travel. Wendy Bishop, the Nursing Home Administrator, was present to discuss the resolution authorizing payment for mandatory minimum data set, continuing educational fee, and discuss soliciting requests for proposal for pharmacy services. Kevin Wolf, the Director of the Veteran Services Agency, was also present to discuss monthly statistics for August 2022 and the current media blitz regarding Camp Lejeune water contamination DOD lawsuit. Resolution 665 through 667 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendation. The next Human Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, October 4th at 4:15 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. Plattsburgh International Airport Committee and Legislator Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Plattsburgh International Airport Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Plattsburgh International Airport Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, September 28th at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you. Personnel, I will take that. The Personnel Committee met on Monday, September 12th. There will be 17 resolutions placed on the agenda for the Wednesday, September 28th meeting, not tonight, upon the recommendations of the committee. And the next Personnel Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, October 3rd at 5 p.m. Public Safety Committee, Legislator Castleton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Public Safety Committee met on Monday, September 12th. Sheriff Fabro contacted me prior to the meeing regarding the resolution titled Authorizing the Purchasing Agent to Solicit Bids for the Replacement of 15 exterior cameras and the relocation of one camera. It stated he wished to use 2022 funds. Eric Day, the Emergency Services Director, was present to discuss several resolutions, including authorizing contract amendment with Cologne's Security Systems, authorizing FY 2019 State Homeland Security Grant Program extension, and authorizing 2021-2022 Public Safety Answering Point, PSAP, Operations Grant Application and Acceptance. Andrew Wiley, the District Attorney, was present to discuss the resolution authorizing Office of Victim Services Grant Application and Acceptance. Jennifer Facto Rabideau, the Deputy County Coroner, was present to discuss resolution adopting fee schedule for removal and transportation of decedents under the coroner's care, as well as discussion on concerns over morgue space at UVM CBPH Medical Center, and the increase in autopsies to be performed by Dr. Michael Sikorica. Jamie Martineau, the public defender, was present to discuss the resolution authorizing contract with LexisNexis. Resolutions 668 and 6 through 677 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendations. The next Public Safety Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, October 3rd at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. Transportation, Legislator Cressman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Transportation Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Transportation Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, September 26th at 5:15 p.m. And that's the end of the report.
Good, thank you. Liaison reports. Board of Health, Legislator Potiker.
The Board of Health will be meeting on Monday, September 19th, with a presentation on corporate compliance and annual training by Jeff Sisson, the Director of Public Health. We'll also be covering two resolutions, and discussion items will include time change, in-person versus Zoom, a member Board of Health member replacement, health bylaw review, and COVID and monkeypox updates. End of report.
Okay, thank you. Chamber of Commerce, Legislator Potiker.
No report.
Clinton Community College, Legislator Rosado.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. In lieu of me speaking tonight, since we have the honor of President John Quall of Clinton Community College here, I'd like to ask him to get up and brief us on some of the awesome things that have happened in just the last 30 days at Clinton Community. Thank you, John.
Thank you. We were delighted to be able to do a ribbon cutting at the Moore Building. The county, as well as the state, provided significant financial resources to proceed with that project. So it's been completed. It's a fabulous looking building. It's a major building for our learning commons, for our instructional classrooms and administrative offices. So we had a very nice celebration and ribbon cutting. And we also had an opportunity to unveil a historical marker for the building that was funded through a grant that was secured by two of our faculty members. So that was also an opportunity to, again, celebrate the history of this wonderful building we have on our campus. We also recently hired Mr. Chris Chamars for our position of Director of Institutional Advancement. Really crucial position because that person leads a team to secure funding for the college with that high priority for scholarships. We know that many of our students, a lot of our students face financial challenges, and having those scholarship resources are a really important way to bring more students to their college. We were also successful, and thanks to the efforts of one of my interim vice president for academic affairs, we secured a grant from SUNY of close to $200,000 to support workforce training. And it's a workforce training initiative to create pathways, micro-credentials, and kind of link up the workforce training with our academic programs, which will again provide for an opportunity to enroll more students and provide trainings to local industries. We were also fortunate to be participants in a grant proposal in collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce for the Northern Borders grants, and a grant was awarded, and one component of it is approximately $300,000 to support welding training. We are in the process right now of creating that training, implementing it. Will likely happen early next spring to train for our local industry, starting with Alstrom, which we're working with very closely to provide that training. And then part of these initiatives is also to make the link to credit-bearing programs, and we've even been told by some of our industry partners they would like to have the training have some credits attached to them. So, you know, the hidden benefit of this is more FTEs from that credit training, because we all know SUNY does not give credit for any of the workforce training in terms of our numbers, which is unfortunate, but we're finding a way to make that, provide that kind of impact. So lots of good news going on at the college, and a lot of it happening over the last month or so. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
My pleasure.
Anything further?
Not that I wanted to shirk my duties, but I just didn't, that was a lot to talk about, and I didn't want to repeat, so End of report.
Okay, thank you very much. Community Services Board, Legislator Castle.
Nothing to report.
Cooperative Extension, Legislator Timmons.
Yes, we met last night. We have a 2023 tentative budget to bring forth to the county, to Mike, who sets up the timing on that. Like everybody else, we're having a staffing retention problem, but the programs are all going well at this time. And of course, everybody knows about the Ag Corps, and I apologize that I cannot be on it this year.
This year. Thank you. Discipline Review, myself and Legislator Hall, Mike and Kim met in Discipline Review on September 1st. We rendered a decision in the case, and the decision was sent out to all parties. We don't have an upcoming one coming up the weekend, so nothing further. That was old business on Discipline Review. Grievance Committee, nothing on that of note. And Inter-County Legislative Board.
Actually, no, we'll be meeting next week in Buffalo.
On the Jury Board, I met with Judges Powers, Mark Powers, and Judge Bruno to reappoint Mary Beth Pfeiffer, who is our Commissioner of Jurors. We all agreed, we are on the jury board, we agreed to reappoint her for another term. So Commissioner Pfeiffer will be with us for another, I should know, it's 5 years?
Let's go for that.
I think it's 5 years. It's 5 years. And we're very happy to see that she's done a terrific job. We had nothing good to say, nothing but good to say about it. LCLG Regional Planning Board, Legislators Hughes and Kretzer.
No report, but just a reminder, we are having our regional quarterly meeting here on October 11th.
Where is it? In the chamber?
Soil and Water, Legislators for attendance.
Our meeting is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Workforce Development Board, Legislator Kretzer.
No report.
Do staff members have any reports? Ms. Keller?
I do not have any report, but I would like to request an executive session to discuss matters of contract.
Okay. And Mr. Zerl?
I'm going to participate in that executive session, but also have an update on sale and lease of real property.
Okay.
And quick reminder, I know Rob mentioned it, but those of you who are going on the Ag Tour this Friday, reminder that 8:30 at the Cooperative Extension Building is the start time.
Resolutions. Before voting on the resolutions, I want to note the majority of the resolutions have been thoroughly discussed by the appropriate committees, and the legislature is taking action tonight based largely in part on the recommendation of those committees. Mr. Zerl, would you please read the title of the resolutions to be acted upon?
Certainly. Resolution number 633, adopting Clinton Community College budget, Clinton Community College.
Motion, Legislator Timmons, second, Legislator Pizzato. Any discussion? Yes, ma'am.
I'd actually like to vote no on this one. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
You want to do what, Patty? I'm sorry.
Vote no on this.
Okay. Okay, any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I don't want there to be any misleading here about my questions to Mike earlier. At no time will I ever vote against Clinton Community College budget. I might vote against the money part of it. I think it's very important for the people I represent, and an awful lot of them work for you at the college in my area. It's very important that we get those numbers up on, and I know you feel the same way. The enrollment, $3.5 million is a lot of money. Clinton County does not mind giving you the money. At the same time, that enrollment has got to go up, in my opinion. And talking to my fellow colleagues, a lot of them feel the same way. We are all in favor of helping Clinton Community College. At the same time, the enrollment has to go up. There's no way around it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Any further discussion? Yes, sir.
What was the budget for last year?
Same.
Same.
Black.
Anything else? Roll call, reflecting Legislator Waldron's no vote.
Spurrier,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
one negative, Ms. Walter. Resolution passed.
Carried.
Resolution 634, authorizing contract amendment with A.W. Farrell and Son Buildings and Grounds.
Motion, Legislator Bazile. Second, Legislator Waldron. Any discussion? Roll call.
Spurrier,
Yes.
Hall.
Thank you very much.
Did I place on the wrong sheet?
Patty's here.
Patty's here.
Ms. Walter. I had my backup sheet. And your absent sheet, I'm sorry. You've been voted.
One no vote.
After that vote.
Doesn't take much around
I'm-
here.
Mind your business.
I get
Got him
I
right.
I'm never voting no.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 6.
Soundly carried.
Resolution 635, awarding bid for Department of Social Services handicap ramp replacement project, buildings and grounds.
Motion, Legislator Potter.
Can I just say something on it for a
You
second?
can, what, this one?
Yeah, 635, just that,
We need a motion in a second.
We'll get to you. Yes, you can. The short answer is yes, but wait a
Yeah.
minute. Motion, Legislator Potiker. Second, Legislator Kretzer. Any discussion?
yes. I just want to make everybody aware, this is like the first building project bid of the year that came in. The estimate, although it's a small project, was like 150,000. It came in at 89,000, which is about 30% less than what the architect's estimate. That's a huge savings for that small project, so I think it's pretty awesome. And maybe future projects will start to, is the rotation starting to turn the other way,
That is
so.
good.
Just
So I think it's good leadership by the chairman of the committee, that's my opinion.
well, I didn't go there.
I think that's
Anyway, thank you very much for this.
Well, thank you for the insight. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
No. I mean, yes.
You want to go back and change your previous?
You're on the roll tonight.
My apologies.
Resolution 636, authorizing contract with DocuSign Social Services.
636. How do I get ahead here? Motion, Legislator Potiker. Second, Legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution 637, authorizing New York State Rental Supplement Program allocation, application, and acceptance social services.
Motion, Legislator Potiker. Second, Legislator Bazile. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 638, authorizing lease agreement with North Country Workforce Partnership Incorporated, employment and training.
Motion, Legislator Potiker. Second, Legislator Perrier. Abstention, Legislator Kretzer.
Yes.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
One abstention.
Carried, one abstention. Thank you.
Resolution 639, authorizing contract amendment with Behavioral Health Services North Social Services.
Motion, Legislator Potiker. Second, Legislator Bazile. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution 640, authorizing contract amendment with Behavioral Health Services North Social Services.
Motion, Legislator Potiker. Second, Legislator Kretzer. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 641, authorizing American Rescue Plan Act Adult Protective Services Grant Application and Acceptance Social Services.
Motion, Legislator Potiker. Second, Legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 642, authorizing contract with Behavioral Health Services North Social Services, Employment and Training.
Motion, Legislator Potiker. Second, Legislator Bazile. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 643, approving appointment to the Clinton County Planning Board Planning Department.
5-5, Ms. Waldron?
Yes, please.
5-5, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 644, honoring Sheridan Garner for his years of dedicated public service.
Again, 5-5?
Yes.
5-5, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 645, authorizing hazard mitigation grant program funding acceptance, Planning Department.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Caston. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 646, authorizing contract with the New York State Office of Information Technology Services and the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, Information Technology.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Potiker. Discussion?
I just want to point out, I know that we tend to sometimes pick on the state of New York. This is something very good that the state of New York is doing. Obviously, there's a recognition, not only throughout the country, but definitely in New York State, about cybersecurity. So this is an endpoint product that New York State is rolling out to county governments that will replace the current endpoint product that we pay for. This one's free, and if you ask Mr. Randall, better. So I think we should just give the state a little kudos when they do something good for the county.
And I believe it was a savings of 30,000.
So in his budget, will 30,000 come out of his budget?
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 647, authorizing contract with Dominion Voting Systems Corporation Board of Elections.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 648, authorizing absentee ballot prepaid postage grant acceptance, Board of Elections.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Caston. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 649, authorizing the county treasurer to appropriate American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funds to various accounts, Treasurer's Office.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 650, authorizing the county treasurer to establish a capital project titled Acquire Aqueous Film Forming Foam Testing Equipment Project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Sounds like Harry Potter, that aqueous form.
Resolution number 651, authorizing the county treasurer to establish a capital project titled Rehabilitation of Taxiway B Pavement and General Aviation Apron Construction Phase 2 Project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hall. Discussion?
Just want to point out, we did talk about this in finance. The previous resolution, this resolution, following two resolutions are simply the accounting, the grant money to fund these capital projects has been accepted by the federal government, and this is the internal accounting and required establishment of the capital project.
Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 652, authorizing the county treasurer to establish a capital project titled Update Airfield Pavement Indices Survey Design Project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 653, authorizing the county treasurer to establish a capital project titled Passenger Boarding Bridge Gate 2 Design Project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 654, approving state aid application for the Plattsburgh North Country Chamber of Commerce, Legislature.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Potiker. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 655, authorizing contract with Rooted Compassion Counseling and Consulting, LLC, mental health and addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Desire. Discussion. Roll call.
Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Walter.
Yes.
Resolution number 656, authorizing memorandum of understanding extension with Clinton County Veterans Service Agency, mental health and addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Walter.
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 657, authorizing contract amendment with Community Connections of Franklin County, mental health and addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Walter.
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 658, authorizing contract with Nat Liam, MD, mental health and addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Desire. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 659, authorizing contract with trustees of Dartmouth College, mental health and addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 660, authorizing contract amendment with Behavioral Health Services North, mental health and addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 661, authorizing contract amendment with Champlain Valley Family Center, mental health and addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Desire. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Resolution number 662, authorizing contract with Child Care Coordinating Council of the North Country Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Resolution number 663, amending resolution number 301 dated May 12, 2021, titled Authorizing Contracts with Selected Individuals for the Distribution of State Septic System Replacement Funds for the Islamont Watershed Grant Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Resolution number 664, authorizing contract with Miramis Incorporated Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Desire. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Resolution number 665, authorizing out-of-state travel, Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Perrier. Second, legislator Desire. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Resolution number 666, authorizing payment of mandatory minimum data sets, continuing education fees, nursing home.
Motion, legislator Perrier. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Perrier.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Resolution number 667, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit requests for proposals for pharmacy services, nursing home.
Motion, legislator Perrier. Second, legislator Potiker. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution number 668, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for the replacement of 50 exterior cameras and the relocation of one camera, Sheriff Department.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution number 669, authorizing contract amendment with Cologne Security Systems Emergency Services.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Resolution number 670, authorizing fiscal year 2019 State Homeland Security Grant Program Extension, Emergency Services.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 671, authorizing 2021-2022 Public Safety Answering Point Operations Grant Application and Acceptance, Emergency Service.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call.
Gray.
Yes.
Ms. Waldron.
Yes.
Resolution 672, authorizing 2021 and 2022 statewide interoperability communications formula-based grant application and acceptance, emergency services.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion?
I'd just like to point out, when we do this resolution each year, this is the funding source that pays the lease of your P25 radio system. It was approved 4 or 5 years ago now. So you were getting a brand new P25 radio system for zero, which is very good. That number increases, but that's a 2-year award, so don't get too excited.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Sprague? Yes. Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution number 673, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the mutual fire aid department emergency services.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 674, adopting fee schedule and removal and transportation of decedents under the coroner's care, coroner.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 75, authorizing Office of Victim Services grant application and acceptance of District Attorney's Office.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution 676 has been withdrawn. Resolution number 677, authorizing contract with LexisNexis Public Defender's Office.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 678, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the AAA Transportation Program Grant Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution number 679, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the 2022 Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act various program grant, employment, and training.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Potter. Abstention, legislator Kretzer.
Yes.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Mr. Kretzer? Abstained. Resolution number 680, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Workforce Investment Act grant, employment, and training.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hall. Abstention, legislator Kretzer.
Yes.
Discussion? Roll call.
Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
One abstention, Mr. Kretzer. Resolution number 681, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the health department budget, health department.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 682, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the New York State Office of Mental Health Workforce Grant, Mental Health and Addiction.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 683, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the New York State Office of Mental Health Veterans Peer-to-Peer Support Program, Mental Health and Addiction.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 684, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Clinton County Public Transit Program, Planning Department.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion? Roll call.
Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution number 685, authorizing the county treasurer to adjust appropriations in various airport accounts, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Sprague?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 686, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for insurance reimbursement, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Castine. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yeah.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 687, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the rental supplement program social service.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Potiker. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. A resolution 688, authorizing the county treasurer to adjust appropriation and corresponding revenue for the home energy assistance program and social services.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Potiker. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 689, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the peer-to-peer support program Veterans Service Agency.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution 690, approving appointment to the Department of Environmental Conservation Region 5 Regional Advisory Committee Legislature.
5-5, Mr. Timmons.
Please.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'd like to thank Mr. Haggard for volunteering to take on these additional duties. That's nice that he does that. It's an important program, and he volunteered to do that, and we thank him for it. Thank you, Rob, as well. That should be it, except for, can I get a motion to waive Rule 13.2? I have a motion by legislator Walter, second by legislator Hall. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 13.2, which is, you have the,
I do, Chairman, just before we read the title, just note that we will have a discussion on the contents of the resolutions.
yes, sir.
But the title by itself is not advocating any particular position. Resolution 691, authorizing contract extension with Constellation New Energy Legislature.
May I have a motion? Motion by legislator Hall, second by legislator Timmons. Second by legislator Timmons. Any discussion?
Yes. We obviously had a lengthy discussion at Finance Committee on what option we should take. Before Kim gives you the latest updated numbers, which I suggest we vote quickly on because the rates go up every 8 minutes.
Turn the lights up.
Oh, in the city, we're good. But I will tell you that I was, as directed, I just want to let everybody know that I did reach out to our energy consultant who's doing the program. I think it was Mr. Hughes who asked us to do that. And they did say that they would be, without giving you a formal recommendation, because without analyzing everything, but they did say that on the surface, that their opinion would be that a 3-year contract would probably be the best bet.
Any further discussion?
Yes, so Kim, can you talk about the rates and where we are today?
So they provided me the rates this morning, and when they sent the contracts over to have, so I could sign after this meeting, they had already gone up from 11 o'clock this morning. The gentleman, I think I sent everybody the email, but he's basically saying that, you know, he knows that the board may want to wait till the next full board meeting, but he believes the best strategy would be to lock in. He thinks the rates are going to go up with the cold weather coming. So for the first resolution that you have in front of you for the 3 years, the rate is now 0.06981. And for the additional resolution that you have for the 2-year contract, that went to 0.07178.
So the 2 options you have before, 3 options you have before you this evening are pass a resolution with a 3-year term attached thereto with a 0.06981 per kilowatt hour. Pass a 2-year contract at a rate of 0.07178 per kilowatt hour, or roll the dice and wait 2 more weeks and see where that brings you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I make a motion on the recommendation of Mr. Mazzio, our legislator, that we take bill number 1, a 3-year term.
aye. Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second? We have a second, any discussion?
I'd like to ask,
Go ahead.
Mike or Kim, is there any language in that contract that allows you to step out of that at some point, or are we bonded to it?
You're locked in for the term, sir.
I mean, it would be a crapshoot to wait 2 more weeks to see if there's a fluctuation
The only
in natural
thing-
gas prices,
Yeah.
and that drives the generation down, and we are actually able to get it at 0.62 or 0.63 instead of 0.69, but I don't wanna, I'm not gonna stand here and tell you that it's like playing the slot machines.
The one thing I will say is, with a lock-in, whether it's 2 or 3, you know, rolling things may change in year 3. I know that Mr. Potiker had made a comment in an email. I will say that the risk, you know, the rates may go up double digits, 2 double digits, may go up 10, 11, 12 from the 6 to 9 years. So you have a delta there of maybe 5 cents per kilowatt hour. If the rates aren't gonna go down by that much, so the delta going down is not gonna be as significant as the delta going up. Therefore, by capping at a 3-year thing, although we don't know what the rates are gonna be, you are hedging, you are hedging your bets. We're putting you in a better position because if you know, it's not gonna go to 0. Electric rates are never gonna go to 0. But they could go to 12.
That 4-cent rate that we had for 3 years, actually, we have it all the way till the end of November, was an anomaly then. That's like the price of the city electric rates. So kudos to the legislature who jumped on board with Constellation and said, let's go with this. But my honest opinion is we probably should go, even though it's higher than what it was a week ago, we should try to lock in, because I believe that that price will go to 10 or 11 cents by December.
Just a quick figure from last week at the finance meeting, the total price of the contract went up $25,000 just from last finance meeting.
Over the 3 years.
For the 3-year contract, and over $35,000 for the 2-year contract. Just in a week.
You know, there is something to be said for knowing what that number is gonna be for the next 3 years too, when we're budgeting.
Is there any, Cal?
Apparently the prices went up a few cents since 12:26 this afternoon. So the prices you've given us, are they gonna change by tomorrow morning when we
I have my
send this in?
computer here, so whatever we approve, I'm gonna sign the contract.
So,
He just sent it like 45 minutes ago, so.
Let's just say yes.
I mean, it's a lot of money and it's tough, I know, but
It's going up, we need to talk about it.
Take time.
Is there any one interested in talking about a 2-year term? I don't want to just pass by it without talking about it. Interested in a 2-year contract term as opposed to a 3-year contract term, Mr. Potter?
I think, you know, I mean, I agree that locking in now is probably prudent, especially in the climate right now. In 2 weeks, I don't think it's gonna go down. Could, I don't know, but it might not. But the 2-year term versus a 3-year term, obviously the cost per year is going to be higher for the 2 years. But at the end of the 2 years, when the 3rd year starts, if the price drops, we're locked in at the higher rate, no matter what it drops. And do we have any idea how far it has to drop before we're actually in a better position than now? Or than for the 3-year term? I mean, is it?
Well, it's, you're gonna make me do math.
Yeah, just an approximate, once the,
So the question is,
yeah, at the end of at the end of 2 years. I mean,
So, I mean, it's negligible between the 2-year and the 3-year. What you're hedging against is is what the price may be in year 3. Like I said, even if it goes down, I don't believe it's gonna go down as much as it could go up. So if it goes down a few cents, or a cent even, you're gauging that cent against your 3-year rate tonight.
right, but when it did go down, the last time it went down at about 30%.
Well, Kim, do you have that old demo in front of you?
Yeah,
Well, can you read the terms for the previous year?
so 2017 to 2019, it was 0.0465. From 2019 to 2020, it was 0.0449. And in 2020 to 2022 was 0.041.
So the first figure is very close to what it is now. And then the second figure was considerably less, right?
I mean, since 2017, the rates have been 0.04. In 2014,
What was it before 2007?
0.067.
So close to what it is now.
That's right.
Okay. So I mean, had we been locked in then, we would have paid considerably more at the higher rate.
I agree with that, except I guarantee you the guy was telling us your prices are gonna be in the 4s.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, the higher rate for the 3-year versus the 2-year, they're betting that the provider would like to bet that the prices are going to go down and we'll end up paying more.
and they'll gain the fluff.
Because they're gonna lose in year 2 to hope that it goes down for year 3. So, I mean, I'll vote with the majority on a 3-year, or I don't have to indicate how I'll vote, but I think, the 3-year is a no versus the 2-year. Is it a no for the 3rd year?
As someone who works in the utility industry, the grid build out is going to cost billions. and
So this is all your fault.
Of course, it's good for my industry, although I'm at the end of my career. But the build out of generation and lines is gonna be just massive. And the companies aren't gonna just swallow that. They're gonna pass those on, and they're gonna pass them on in the form of higher electric rates. And I don't really see it probably dropping back down to 4 cents a kilowatt. I think it's,
Any further discussion?
For all of our sakes, I hope I'm right, but either way.
Okay. We have a motion. We have a second for a 3-year contract at those rates. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Kim, get typing.
Yes.
I won't say anything until
Where
you.
we at? Is there anything further
Send
to
you a
come?
memo.
Executive session.
Yes, no, I'm going
Can
there.
I just ask you one question? Either I missed resolution 634, the very first one, or you didn't start with it, or did it get removed because it has to do with the fireproofing above the roof and the $80,000 that we're getting kicked back to us.
We didn't do that one at all. I
We
don't
do
have it.
6, because I think you started at 635 actually, and that's
We
where.
started with Clinton Community College.
Right, well, you started with Clinton Community, then you went to the one I talked about.
I did it.
I haven't,
Farrell?
I checked it out.
You have it written down as
because
rule
I haven't
portion?
moved it.
Okay.
Geez, you moved it.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure it's covered. Okay,
That was a good one, too. That was in our favor.
that's right.
Anything else come before the legislature before we ask for a motion to enter into executive session? Anything at all? We have a motion to enter into executive session. Motion by legislator Kratzer, a second by legislator Pizzaio. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're in executive session. Give us a minute. 35. We are out of executive session at 6:35. We will go back into, we're now in regular session. Anything further to come before the legislature?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn by Legislator Hall, second by Legislator Brazil. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried? We are adjourned.